Hey everybody, it's Gray again. It's another edition of Unbreakable, the podcast. It is Saturday, June 21st, the longest day of the year, officially the first day of summer. Yay, summer! And you can see I'm all decked out in my Phillies gear, going to the game tonight. What a big game, too. What a big series against the New York Mets. Phillies beat the Mets last night, 10-2. Phillies officially take over first place in National League East. They jump ahead of the Mets by one game. And what a roll, huh? Mets have lost 7 in a row. Boo hoo. And the Phillies have been winning and winning. And it finally overtook them. Zach Wheeler did, he only went 5 innings last night, threw a lot of pitches. But it was just Zach Wheeler, eight strikeouts. Isn't it nice that you can have big efforts from Christopher Sanchez, Ranger Suarez, and then you have Zach Wheeler after that. Your ace, your Cy Young candidate. So this Phillies team, the pitching, I said, pitching is the name of the game. Pitching is going to keep the Phillies in the hunt all year long, and when you get into a series in the playoffs, you get into a series against maybe the Cubbies, maybe San Diego. Pitching is going to be the key thing that's going to pull the Phillies through and get them to the NLDS. And from there, I could see Phillies Dodgers. I mean, wow, Ohtani. Phillies have kind of held Ohtani in check for the most part. He hasn't really gone crazy against them like he has some other teams. Godzilla. So, that would be a hell of a NLDS. To NLCS too. Phillies Dodgers. I think it could happen. I really do. I look at the Mets. Yeah, good team, but we're seeing the flaws in the Mets now. Their bullpen stinks. Starters aren't that good. So yeah, they got Lonzo. They've got Juan Soto. They've got Francisco Lindor. All good players, but if you don't have the pitching, what good is it? You're going to lose 98 games, right? So anyway, Phillies, I still think the Phillies need to fine tune. They need some more bullpen help. It'd be great to find a closer at the back of the bullpen. So far, Orion Kirkering looks like he's their man right now. But boy, would I love to get my hands on a guy like Mason Miller of the A's. Pretty soon the A's are going to be out of it and they're going to want to sell. So and stockpile young players again. Pittsburgh's the same way. Pittsburgh is always restocking every year, and they never improve. That's the one thing about the Pirates. Beautiful ballpark out there, never ever in the hunt, never. And they've got some good young players in Paul Skeens. They've got some good young players there with more pitching on the way. But I don't know. There's people across state there. They're waiting for the Steelers. I remember the one year we were out there in Pittsburgh to see the Phillies play the Pirates. And it's the middle of baseball season, right? It's like late July. It's hot outside. Phillies, Pirates, baseball. And there are Pittsburgh fans talking about the Steelers and wearing Steelers gear. Well, I guess the same way here with the Eagles, right? People love the Eagles. They're going to wear Eagles gear all year round. But it's a different thing. We've got the Eagles. We know they're going to have another good team this year. And we've got the Phillies to enjoy too. What do the Pittsburgh people have? Really nothing this time of year. That's why they're talking Steelers. Because that's their next winning team, you know. Now they have Aaron Rodgers out there. So that's going to be very interesting to see how he fits in with Mike Tomlin and the Steelers out there. But anyway, I digress. Phillies, Mets for first place the whole freaking weekend. Sellout crowds down there. Just great. I can't wait to soak up that atmosphere today. You know, almost like a playoff game. You look around baseball, you see there's some pretty tight races. I mean, you've got the Cubbies out in front in NL Central, but the Cardinals are right there. The Reds are even right there. The Brewers are playing good baseball. That kid, one of the Brewers, rookie pitcher, he had a perfect game going through 6 innings last night. Throws the ball like 102 miles an hour. Then out in the West, the Dodgers are class. I mean, come on. They played the Padres 7 games recently, and they won 6 out of them. Dodgers, no matter what, injuries or whatever, are still a class out there. And, you know, teams like the Padres, the Giants, the Diamondbacks, all solid teams, they have to resign themselves to the fact that they're not the Dodgers, you know? So anyway, San Francisco has a solid team. Now that they have Devers on their team, they're even more dangerous. And Arizona continues to win. And they're going to try to get into the wild card somehow, some way. So I think it's going to be an interesting race. We're technically, they say the All-Star game is the halfway point of the season. It really isn't. The halfway point of the season comes up in about 4 days from now. Because today, the Phillies play their 77th game. 4 more games, 81. That's half of the season. So we're getting there. And American League, Yankees, I don't know. I don't like the Yankees there, you know? Aaron Judge is great. Don't get me wrong. But there's something about that Yankee team I can't put my finger on it. So who do you got? You know, the Rays are playing great baseball. Tampa Bay, they seem like they're always in it. They change personnel, but they're always in it all the time. Even Boston is creeping up on the Yankees. So, interesting division. American League Central. Tigers. Who would ever thought the Tigers? Tigers have some good young players. And they're like running away with that pathetic division. You know, the Twins are showing themselves. Cleveland, they're really not that good. You think about Kansas City, probably might be the most disappointing team in Major League Baseball this year. Think about it. Kansas City made the playoffs last year. You thought they would take another leap forward, right? A lot of young, good players. Bobby Witt Jr., the name one. They have actually backslide, you know? Tigers, surprise. And, with the American League being so wide open this year, would it surprise me if the Detroit Tigers made the World Series? No, it wouldn't surprise me at all. Led by that pitcher, Tarek Skubal. You know, the Tigers come into Philadelphia the first week of August. And I do have tickets for the August 2nd game. It's a Saturday. And I can't wait. It's going to be interesting to see the Tigers come in that weekend and face off against the Phillies. American League West. You wonder. Houston I think they're in first place just because nobody else will take it. Now, Texas, they're sort of a shell of themselves. The Angels gave it a little run, but they're backsliding now. But it's always fun to go out and see Mike Trout when he's healthy enough. But Seattle, interesting team. They don't score enough runs, but they have this Cal Raleigh, who broke a record yesterday, by the way. Most home runs by a catcher before the All-Star break. Johnny Bench had the record. This Cal Raleigh guy hit number 28 and 29 yesterday in Wrigley Field. So he probably will have 30 home runs by the time the All-Star game runs around. They have some talent out there in Seattle. They always have good pitching. George Kirby is back. Logan Gilbert is back. They have Castillo. They have Wu. They have a fine pitching staff out there. So that always will give the Mariners a chance. They're always going to be in it. The Astros, I can't stand them. They're a bunch of cheaters. And they're arrogant, cocky. But they continue to be in first place out there. So it's going to be a very interesting rest of the baseball season. I can't wait. And as I said, I think the Phillies have the team. They need to tweak some things before the trade deadline. But I definitely think the Phillies have the team to get to the World Series and win the World Series this year. The Dodgers are not the juggernaut that we all thought they would be, they're beatable. They're a good team, but they're beatable. Now, and nobody else in the National League really scares me. So, Phillies, I think, are going to be the dark horse, and I think they're going to prevail. So, Phillies Yankees, Phillies Tigers World Series, Phillies Rays, Phillies Astros again. There's a lot of oh my God, a lot of rivalries out there. You get the Phillies Astros in the World Series. You've got the payback for what the Astros did to us a couple of years ago. Phillies Yankees payback from 1950, from my dad's era. So interesting stuff, huh? We are starting, my friends, the heat wave here in Pennsylvania. Just the start of it. You guys out there have been baking out in the Midwest, and hey, it's summertime. It is summertime. I got my summertime playlist on in the background there, and I'm just enjoying them as you should as well. We'll have a great weekend, everybody. Go Phils tonight. You'll actually be able to watch them tonight. Last night they were on that stupid Apple TV. Tonight they're the Fox game of the week at 7:15, and tomorrow night they are the ESPN Sunday Night Baseball game of the week. So you'll be able to watch your Phils. As I said, interesting game tomorrow night, Game 7 of the NBA. The Pacers and the Thunder. The Thunder should win. They're at home. They're going to need to turn up that defense. They should win. But the Pacers, I don't know. Are they a team of destiny? Just the fact that it's Game 7 is unique. It's the first Game 7 in the NBA Finals since 2016. I mean, like only 4 Game 7s in the finals in the last 30 freaking years. 4. So tomorrow night is kind of going to be a rarity. It's win or go home, baby. 1 game to decide the NBA championship. That's going to be fun. I think Oklahoma City is going to win, but it wouldn't surprise me if the Pacers. And I kind of rooting for the Pacers because they are the underdogs. TJ McConnell, on that team has been a bright spot. And the Pacers have overcome a lot of adversity over the year. And let's face it, they have earned their way to get there. They beat the Knicks. They as I said yesterday, it is very, very frustrating thinking to yourself, whoever loses tomorrow night, how far you have come. You've come as far as you can possibly go in an NBA season without winning a championship. Game 7 of the NBA Finals. That is going to be a bummer of a finals. If you lose that, I don't mind. But for us, we're going to enjoy tomorrow night. So me, I'm going to be switching back and forth from the Phillies Nets to basketball, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. So that's what I do. That's how I roll. All right, everybody. Peace and love. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you again sometime next week. And let's hope the Phils will have a victory tonight. Like I said, they're playing pretty good football, so I don't think I'm going to have to go down to the clubhouse and knock some heads together. I don't think that's needed. I think I'm just going to go to the park today and sit back and enjoy the game. So, everybody, take care. See you next time on the show. Bye bye.